to the channel, everybody. I hope you're well. It is Usernamekate here, and today I am bringing you guys a review on BMW's R12 NINE T. So if you're interested to find out a few things about this bike and of course find out how it rides, then keep watching and I'll play the intro. Right everybody, I would first like to start this vlog with a big thank you to Halliwell Jones Motorad in Chester. Now they have loaned me this stunning brand new bike from BMW to review, so I can be one of the, first ones to get it out there and get it to my audience. So if you are in the market for a BMW, please consider those guys. They are very, very helpful and their stock always looks quality. So yes, without further ado, let's jump right in. Right, we're going to start with price and what you guys get for that price. Now, as you know, with anything BMW, it starts at a nice reasonable base price, and then you can make the prices astronomical depending on how you spec the bike. Now the R12 NINE T actually starts from £14,220, and for that what you get is, you don't get this colour option, you get black star metallic, but it still does have these lovely brushed aluminium side clear coated bits on the tank. For that price included, you do get things like LED lights all around the bike. You do get cast aluminium wheels, you get ABS Pro, you get the riding modes, rain, road and dynamic. The bike is keyless, but you still need the key to put the steering lock on and do the fuel cap. The bike comes with a 12-volt power socket in the form of a DIN charger, so that's great for people that have the BMW chargers already. And on the other side of the bike you have a USB charger as well. For that price, again, you get the aluminium fuel tank, chrome plated headers, you get engine brake control, you get twin clocks, you get the rider and pillion seat, you get dynamic traction control, and you also get some pretty nicely spec'd suspension as well. We have some upside down 45mm forks on the front, and they are fully adjustable with rebound, compression and preload adjustability. Now I do love the fact that if you have £14,420 to spare, you can get this bike with that lovely front suspension. You don't have to miss out just because you're not paying bags and bags of money. Now let's talk about this bike that I am going to be riding today. This bike costs £16,500 because this is spec'd a little bit higher than the base spec at that £14,420. Now firstly, the obvious thing to know is the colour option. So we have San Remo, which is a really deep, nice green, and of course you've got that lovely brushed aluminium clear coated side panel. They're not panels, it is just seamless, and you do get that on this bike. So one of the first things to note about this is the colour. It is San Remo, which will set you back £250 for this colour option. It is a beautiful, lovely, deep green, and it's quite British for a German bike. So I really like it, and I love the fact that it has these clear coated, brushed aluminium tank that's exposed on this side. I just think it looks real nice. With this bike as well, we have Headlight Pro as an optional extra, which is £200, and it does just give you that cornering lighting, which is particularly nice at night time if you're on country lanes. It just illuminates the path that you're going to be taking and is quite a nice little feature. This bike is also spec'd up with tyre pressure control as well for £250. This bike has also been spec'd up with connected ride control, which is a little mobile phone mount on the front. This is a £280 option, so it's not cheap, but you can use your phone with the BMW Connected app as almost like a bit of a secondary dash whilst it's on there. So I think that is quite a nice touch, but again, it's going to set you back £280. The next thing that this bike has that I really adore is that digital dash. 3.5 inch of colourful clarity. I absolutely love it. It's a long dash. I haven't really seen one of these before. Now this is an optional extra. It costs £120, and from just riding here, in my opinion, it's well worth it. It looks absolutely beautiful, so clear. All the information is on there, well, bar something that's a bit of a gripe, which I'll go into when I'm riding the bike. If you were to not get that option, the bike would come with the twin clocks that you'd be very familiar with if you rode an R9 T previously. It's the same setup basically. And then finally, where the big bucks come in, ka-ching ka-ching, this bike is fitted with a comfort package, which costs £980. Now it must be noted that the different elements that make the comfort package can all be purchased separately as an option. So if you want one thing and not all 4 of the things that it comes with, you can just get them individually. But the comfort package does come with heated grips. It comes with the gear shift assist, which is the quick shifter and auto blipper. It also comes with cruise control, and it comes with hill start control as well. And finally, before we jump on this bike and get riding it, you guys know of 2 colours so far. The base colour, which is that Black Star Metallic with the brushed alley tank. Then we have this at £250, which is the San Remo Green. And then finally, there is another option, and I would say it's more for the brave because it's not as understated as this. It's very bright and very in your face. We have the colour option 719 aluminium, and basically all this is aluminium. It's kind of this but everywhere. Same on the back as well, it's got a lovely hump, but we have a popping red frame. It is quite loud, and of course it comes with loads of fancy milled bits, fancy option 719 bits and bats, and that is going to cost you, are you ready, an extra £2,100 for that colour option. So when I said you can spec this bike to the moon, that's what I meant. Right guys, it's getting chilly, and the sound of that brook right next to me is making my bladder not feel so great. So without further ado, we're going to get on the bike, go, ride it, see what we think, and I'll report back to you guys. I hope you enjoy. Let's go. Okay. Woo. Right, we're on the road ride bit of the R12 NINE T. Let's go. So I'm taking you down some pretty tasty roads. Woo! Bum left the seat then. Oh, I tell you what, it's not warm today. It's not warm. I think it's about 8 degrees. That's in the sun. Woo! In the shade it's awful. Right guys and girls, so now I am on the R12 NINE T. Is it me, or is that a bit of a mouthful? I mean, I understand the logic with it because BMW have the R12, which is kind of like a baby R18, but they also want to keep an R9T-esque kind of bike. So this fits the bill, so R12 NINE T. Like, it makes sense. Nice as a Tesla. Right, guys and girls, so today I am on the R12 NINE T. We're riding it. It was literally launched yesterday and we're out and about riding it, living our best lives on some beautiful roads that the Trough of Bowland has to offer. Honestly, I love the Trough. It's literally my favourite place to ride in the UK. We've got this, which is just like the R9 T. We've got the same engine, the air and oil cooled boxer twin, flat twin. We love it. We love the grunt it has. We've got 109 brake horsepower at 7,000 RPM peak, and we've got 115 newton meters of torque. Peak on this is at 6,500 revs. Wow, it sure is beautiful around here. We've got all the cars pulling in. Thank you. So this is replacing the R9 T. This is the new generation, and BMW have kind of focused on the fact that this bike is going to be ridiculously customizable. The R9 T was ridiculously customizable with places like Pier City Cycles doing some beautiful things to these R9Ts, but this bike has a whole new chassis. It's a more flexible chassis in terms of, you know, being able to bolt things on and customize it and stuff like that. So BMW know what they're doing. Now, one of the things that has shocked me about this bike, I don't know, maybe I haven't ridden an R9 T in a while, but it's just such a whippersnapper. It handles like a boss. I mean, we've got a 17-inch front, we've got some Conti roads on this, so some road-based rubber. But yeah, the handling on this thing is awesome. Oh, these roads are gross this time of year. So yeah, one of the things that I really like about the way this bike's been spec'd is it's been spec'd with that digital dash, and it just looks gorgeous. I hope you guys can see it and I don't have a big, you know, GoPro in the way from the angle that you guys see this from on my chin. But look, it's just so slick. Now, normally I think the bigger dashes are better, but I don't have any complaints when the dashes are small but crystal clear and concise like this. Oh, you just never know, and there's going to be loads of gravel. There's always leaves like this. We've got fairly new rubber on. What a bike, it's rapid. I don't know whether I'd just forgotten how the R9 T rode, but this 1170cc engine, it's quite a mover when you want it to be. Oh, look at all this, look at this. Thankfully we've got ABS Pro, we've got all the good stuff to help it if I get bent out of shape, but yeah, wow. So yeah, everything is mega clear on that dash, and I really like it. I love the modes. I mean, as standard, you don't have to spec it with like riding mode pros or anything. You do just get that rain, road and dynamic, regardless of if you get the base spec or not. I like the rev counter on this, and I love the font of the miles an hour. I think it's just real nice. Now, to ride this bike is a hoot, a pleasure. It is a rocket. honestly, like, you wouldn't think it's 109 brake horsepower because of that torque that's just delivered from that boxer engine. It's got so much of it. I mean, it is an engine that, being a twin, you know, it doesn't, say you're doing 30 miles an hour and you're in 4th gear, it starts to have a bit of a paddy. It's letting you know that it wants you to change, like, definitely. But that's just the nature of these engines. We got a quick shifter. Woo, okay. Moderate yourself, Kate. Oh, wow. Oh, I love this place. But yeah, quick shifter, 5th. So the R9 Ts didn't have quick shifters, and you could never get quick shifters for them from BMW as an optional extra. But this is an optional extra, and because we have the comfort package on this, we've spec'd it as such. But yeah, that engine is just a peach. If you're not used to flat twins, it's definitely one of those where when you set off, you've got to give it a bit of revs, because otherwise, you know, it likes to set off with some positive revs in there. You can't just kind of like let the clutch out and it'll move. You've got to give it some revs, otherwise it can get a bit stally. But that is the nature of that just dramatic flat twin. But yeah, as you can see, it's point and shoot. It handles amazing. Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's a proper flower. Now, we've got it in dynamic mode for a proper crisp throttle response, but I equally like riding it in road, you know. Like, I do find it a bit smoother in the towns in road, but for a sprightly little rip around, I like dynamic. It's quite a narrow road, this. 3rd gear. So 30 miles an hour in 3rd gear. It's chugging along alright. I wouldn't like to drop any lower. In fact, let's see how low I can go in speed before it starts having a real strop. So 24. It's alright, it's not too bad. If I was in 4th gear there, it wouldn't have liked that. But yeah, not too bad at all. Woo! Riding position, I do find it quite sporty, you know. This shocked me. I didn't expect to find it sporty at all. Nationally, baby. Okay, so from 3rd gear, let's roll it on. Oh, it's got so much from in 3rd gear. Literally, you just roll it on and it loves it. Second gear. So when you do change down, oh, it's tight. Gross. When you do change down a gear, you do get that boxer shake. Let's take it past this guy. Thank you. Oh, but yeah, the torque and that quick shifter. The quick shifter is great on this. Oh, another tight one. Flipping heck. Quick shift. It's not a refined shift, I'll tell you that. It's not a refined one. It is there and it's nice that we have it, but it is definitely a little clunkster in my opinion. Is it still worth having? In my opinion, yes. What am I doing not having heated grips on? I am a psychopath, because it is cold. Down the box, 4th, 3rd. So the seat height of this bike is actually pretty reasonable. It's quite low. I'm going to insert a clip now so you can watch that, and I'll see you after it. For reference, I am a 5'4" individual with a 29-inch inside leg measurement. This bike has a seat height of 795mm, and this is what it's like for me to throw my leg over it. So this is another bike where the pegs are kind of directly where you want to put your foot, so you have to go a bit behind it. It does have quite a chunky, wide seat that does feel extremely comfortable, but it's not a massively narrow seat in my opinion. But this is what it's like if I come to a stop. Again, just lean off a little bit of a bent leg. It's no problem to stop on this bike. Right guys, yeah, hopefully that was useful to any of you people out there with a similar build to me. Now, one thing I will say while we're on like height and weight of things, it weighs 220 kilograms fully weighted, or wet weight. And I'm gonna insert some more footage now of me pushing it, but it isn't the lightest thing. I brought it out the garage this morning and it is quite a heifer, so do just be prepared for that. It does wear its weight quite heavily. But yeah, honestly, it's an absolute handling machine. Okay, so we've got a 16 litre tank on this. Great, that's a decent size. But I have a massive bone to pick with BMW. Why on God's green earth did you not put a fuel gauge on it? We've no fuel gauge, we've no amount of miles until you're going to run out. Nothing. Like I say, I'd be interested to know if we've got the fuel range on the twin clocks, but the fact that the digital dash doesn't include that is just a big mistake in my opinion. You know what I thought? Fact check yourself, Kate. You know, actually go into the settings of this bike and see if you can find it. Like on the GS there's something called, with the new TFT dash, or the TFT dash that was introduced in 2018, there's something on that TFT dash called status line content, and it's just basically reams and reams of information that is displayed at the top of the dash, and you can choose what you see by selecting and deselecting certain things. So I thought I'll double check it on here and I'll see if somebody's just not selected it. And no, it's just not an option. But no, I am, aside from that rant, I am actually seriously loving this bike. To me, I don't know what it is, it just feels sportier than the R9 T. I do actually feel a bit like my body is leant over a bit. Even though it doesn't look like a massively sporty bike, it's giving sporty vibes. So yeah, despite its sporty riding position, it has a ridiculously comfy seat. The seat is so comfy, let me tell you. It's so thick and plush. Right, I've just pulled up at the petrol station to change a battery, and it's looking rather filthy, I know, but just having a quick look at it like this from a chin cam perspective, if we have a look here, we've got the Mazzocchi forks, 45mm upside down, and we have a ridiculous amount of adjustment on the twizzly bits. Brakes, we have Brembo 4-piston radially mounted calipers, astride a set of 310mm discs. On the rear we have a BMW caliper that is 2-piston and it is on a 265mm disc. The wheels were once clean, the shaft drive was once clean, the exhaust was once clean. But yeah, it's looking a bit filthy because that's what happens when you demo new bikes in winter. But yeah, we've still got the big pots. This is all different. We've got preload Twizzler here. If we look in here, there is a red thing buried amongst all this crud where you've got further adjustment on the shock. Yeah, dead plush, nice thick seat. We love it. Airbox different on this. We've got the twin exhaust there, single-sided swing arm, but it is hidden a little bit by that exhaust. It's got an SOS button on this, the SP Connect phone mount with the connectivity, digital dash, cruise. But yeah, it's time to go. Time to go, Eskimo. Okay, so on the motorway, let's get up to speed. Woo! It gets there fast. So yeah, even though we have got an entirely different chassis, it's feeling very R9T-y. Obviously we've got some revised electronics, definitely revised comfort. Now, aside from the lack of fuel gauge, another thing that I do find a little bit annoying after, you know, putting a few miles on this is how slippy the foot pegs are. Like, I don't know what it is, but my boot cannot get grip on these pegs. But I'm sure grippier pegs, they've got to be available on this thing. I'd imagine if you've got quite an adventure focused boot, it's not going to be too much of an issue either. But I don't know, I just find myself constantly slipping off. Yeah, for something that just looks like modern classic, modern retro, you wouldn't think that it could shift like it can. The brakes have been brilliant. Oh, another thing, I love the adjustable levers. It's such a small thing, but for somebody with baby hands like me, it can be the difference with me not being comfortable on a bike and with me being very comfortable on a bike. So yeah, I really love the adjustable levers. We've got a steering damper as well, and I haven't felt any kind of head shake today, which is great. But yeah, so far, on first impressions, just riding it, it is a pretty decent bike. Right, I'll cut to the outro. Right everybody, that concludes my vlog on BMW's R12 NINE T. Guys, what did you think about this bike? I actually really enjoyed riding it. It did surprise me in quite a few ways, but one of the main takeaways from this is the handling is so sublime and the torque is just wicked. But it's not just the torque, it's how the torque is, you know, applied. It's so smooth. Like, the throttle is pretty good. I really like this bike. So once again, a massive shout out to Halliwell Jones Motorad in Chester. They were kind enough to lend this bike to me so that I could get you guys this review in quick time, given the fact that it's a pretty brand new model. Okay guys, if you like what you've seen, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps my channel and I'm forever grateful. And until the next time, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you then. Bye!